Welcome to Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions, and I am your host, Craig Pera from themindfulhabit.com, a former sex, drug, and porn addict who now feeds the right wolf, helping men break free and to save their families. And this is a podcast to empower you to create healthy sexuality and a great life. And guess what? Healthy sexuality is going to hell in a handbasket culturally. Camming revenue is up. Porn consumption is up because of the coronavirus. Massive disruption. And I have the incredible privilege of having clients all over the world and being able to see the impact of this disease and that it's having on people. And I hope you all are taking the right precautions. And my public service announcement is pretend you have the virus and you've got the version of it that's little itty bitty sniffles, little fever, right? Nothing, barely anything. This is what a crazy thing. Why are we going nuts? We're going nuts because of our elderly people who we love and are compromised physically, friends, and we want them to get the resources that they need in the event that they get sick, and we don't want them to get sick. So some of the best advice that I received is, hey, pretend you have it. Pretend you have it, and make sure that you don't spread it to anyone else. That's how we're gonna shut this thing down, and that's how we're gonna use this crisis. Well, hold on. That's not how we're gonna use this crisis, right? So, yeah, crazy times, crazy times. But they're not. Every crisis presents us with an opportunity. Okay. And in today's podcast, right, there is a lot of practical advice that I can give you. And I'm going to give you that. You're going to be hearing a lot from me. You're going to be hearing a lot more of these broadcasts. I feel so incredibly privileged, honored that I run an online addiction community, right? So my calls are all online. My sessions are all online or via phone. It is unbelievable. It is amazing. I am blown away to see my community rally together and support each other, because what we're doing is making sure that we use this crisis to grow. What doesn't kill us only makes us stronger. And I know me personally, I'm going to come out of this more physically fit. That means I got to exercise on my own. I can't rely on the gym because my gym has been closed. So a massive disruption to our routines. I'm going to come out of this closer to my wife. We're going to use this crisis as an opportunity to grow. We're going to play board games. We're going to play video games. We're going to exercise. We're going to exercise as a family. I want to be closer to my kids. We have this, we're, thinking about ways to, use this time to enrich us. And we had a really nice time last night. Every night, someone's responsible for picking an educational, informative video. And yesterday, my daughter picked one, learning how to milk a cow and how bees made honey, like incredibly detailed. It was really, really awesome. So we're going to come out of this closer as a family. My program is going to be stronger. I'm using any downtime I have to strengthen the program that I have and serve my clients better so they can use this crisis to grow closer together. So I listen, that's how it's going to be. I'm going to make that happen. And there's a lot of practical things that I'm going to do to make that happen. And I'm going to talk to you about those practical things, and I'm going to share with you what I'm doing. But I want to touch on belief systems today. I want to touch on belief systems around fear, right? Because what happens, right? Your compulsive sexual behavior, very likely, very, very likely, high degree of likelihood, is a response to fear. You're using it to numb, cope, and escape. And there's a host of good reasons, valid reasons, right, that you can convince yourself. And you can convince yourself of almost anything, right? So many good reasons that you can think of to just rub one out, watch porn, get on the campsite, right? And the sky is falling, and your mind has an incredibly ability to rationalize. But one thing really changed my life. There's been a number of things that have changed my life, and I like to talk about all of them, but there's one belief system that really forced me to take ownership of my life and to be accountable. And so here's what always happened in me. So right, moderately smart guy, did well, was a lawyer. So I knew what to do. I knew that when I got triggered, I should do this. I should take action. I knew that when my sexual energy was being pulled in an unhealthy direction, I knew that there were action steps that I should take in that moment. I knew that when I was struggling with a mental health issue, that I should lean on my wife. I knew that I should do that, but I didn't do it. I knew that there were things that I could do to better manage my pain instead of using drugs, okay? And I would do it next time. So in my mind, I'd say to myself, I'm gonna do it right next time, because there's some satisfaction in right, isn't there? There's this sense of accomplishment knowing the right thing to do. That's good enough in the moment, right? You can lose personal agency and control. Doesn't matter, because you're gonna do it right the next time. You've done the work, you've studied, you've got a pretty good sense of what action you need to take to prevent your sexual energy from as it habitually has been to move and go in an unhealthy direction. And so here's something that a belief system that I encourage you to embrace right now, because we are in the midst of a once in a lifetime event, right? True or false? I've never had my kids, never had school canceled for a month, never had travel restrictions. We're in a once in a lifetime event, brothers and sisters. We got to come out of this stronger. We got to come out of this in better shape, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So embrace the belief system that I embraced that changed my life. And that is, instead of kicking performance downstream, I'll do it next time, I'll do it next time, let this be next time. How you manage this crisis is how you're going to manage the next one. I want to just take a breath. And I want you to take a breath, and because it's all built up to this, right? How you manage this crisis is how you're going to manage the next one. It is not how you manage this one is okay, because you'll do it right next time. And I know that next time never comes. So we've got to trick our brains. We've got to kind of snap ourselves out of this "I'll deal with it another time" and stop kicking the can down the street. How you manage this one is how you're going to manage the next one. I want you to think about that. I want you to breathe on that. I want you to meditate on that, because that belief system changed everything for me, because it compelled me, and that's true, right? Like because I never got better at it. I never did what I knew I was supposed to do until I started doing what I knew I was supposed to do. And so I started taking action, because to break a habit, you got to make a habit. That's like the golden rule of behavior modification. What that means is your success in not doing the thing is a function is the result of you doing something else. So you must take positive, proactive action in order to counterbalance what you may call your sex addiction or your porn addiction or unhealthy sexuality. Whatever you want to call it. You want it to be healthy, make it healthy. Do the right things that will produce healthy. The input produces the output. And so this simple mental shift, how I manage this one is how I manage the next one. And I am going to manage this one, be strong, and I'm going to come out of it stronger, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So I want you to think about that. I'm gonna talk about practically. See, I spent a lot of time professionally in risk management. I've run risk for billion-dollar companies. I was the compliance director at Esurance, assistant general counsel at Hanover. Worked for the Hartford Financial Services Group for many years. I loved risk management, and I love applying those business skill sets to your life. And so that's what I'm going to be doing in my next few broadcasts. We're going to be talking about practically how to use this crisis, the coronavirus, to grow closer together. I want you to recommend you listen to my two broadcasts ago. 6 ways to use the coronavirus to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. We're going to be diving deep into each of those concepts. We're going to be using tools that you may have in the back of your mind professionally, right? In so many of my clients, there is a professional toolkit that we leverage in their personal lives. So I want you thinking about, this is the one, this is the time, this is the place where you use this crisis to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. It is your time to be a leader for your family and for your community. It is your time to make a habit, to be your best self. You know it's in you. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast if it wasn't. You know it's inside. You know it's inside. So let's do it together. Let's do it together. Now, if you want to join my online recovery community, go to the website, call me. The phone number is on the website. I'll give it to you now. (877) 769 3790, 877 769 3790. I recognize that your recovery communities have been disrupted in a massive way. And I recognize that I am uniquely positioned as someone who runs an online addiction recovery community to serve you, okay? And so what we've done is, well, first of all, we figured out how many people we can let into the program. Okay, there's not going to be that many more just because I can't impact quality, because we've also reduced the price of the program. Normally, it's 6 months training. The program is $2,000 at the time of this broadcast, and we are offering scholarships to make it work. I'm bending over backwards to try to make it work for guys, and I hope I can make it work for you. Go to the website. You can read about the group coaching program. That's my most popular option. You can read about the self-study program. We're going to be reducing that price online as well. Want to help people if you're looking to use this time to grow in powerful ways. Honored and privileged that you are listening to me. Thank you so much. Feed the right wolf. Embrace your power of choice. Let's come through this together. Support your brothers. Connect and let's be our best selves. Bye, everybody. See you next time.